The secret message in the Bluetooth name and logo is quality or quantity better for content creation, and how Facebook crushed a $100 million company with one simple move. All this and more in this week's Fishbowl Friday. Welcome to Fishbowl Friday, where we've gathered the best marketing news from this week and compiled it down into this quick 5-minute bite-sized video just for you. To access the full version of each week's stories, go to fishbowlfriday.com. While you're there, be sure to subscribe and receive our weekly marketing news straight to your inbox. Before we get started, I want to ask you a favor. If you find the weekly marketing news we bring to you valuable, please share it with other business owners, entrepreneurs, and marketers who also might like it. Tell them to go to fishbowlfriday.com to subscribe. Thanks for helping us spread the word. Let's get to it. For our first story, when it comes to content creation, should you focus on quality or quantity? Creating content takes time and money, so you want to make sure you're spending both wisely. A lot of content is needed to compete, but the content has to be good in order to get viewers to consume it. The article we're talking about mentions Gary Vaynerchuk's path to being one of the most well-known social media influencers was not necessarily paved in gold. Gary himself notes that it took hundreds of videos before he gained any meaningful traction. The key is sustainable growth for the content, quality, and quantity. Adjust the quantity so you can sustain the quality. The ride is going to take a hot minute, so you're going to need to make sure you have the endurance to last. Our take on this, the truth is you need both quality content and enough overall content to remain effective. The key here is producing content that aligns with the pain points of the people you're trying to help. Providing value and being helpful should be at the core of your efforts. From there, produce as much quality content as you can. Our next story, Bluetooth is more than a catchy name, and the logo is not simply a spiky bee. Most people have not spent a lot of time pondering the origins of Bluetooth. You know, that little button on your phone you use to connect your vehicle, your smartwatch, or your headphones? Daniel Piper shares a fun story on Creative Blog behind the name and the logo. In the early 90s, engineers Sven Mattisson and Jim Cardock were working on a technology to connect PCs to cellular devices. They spent also a lot of time talking about Vikings. The King of Denmark, famous for uniting Norway and Denmark, was named Harald Bluetooth Gormson. The Bluetooth referred to his dead tooth. The Bluetooth logo is actually a superimposition of the Nordic runes for the letters H and B for Harald Bluetooth. Our take on this, I love a good origin story. Just think, now every time I sync anything via Bluetooth, I'm going to feel like I'm uniting two separate nations for the good of mankind. In our next story, in the ever-changing landscape of short videos, TikTok is expanding their current max length from 3 minutes to 10 minutes. That's a long dance video trend. Previously, TikToks were limited to 15 seconds, then 1 minute, then the current 3 minutes. As the current IT app in video and social media, other social media platforms will follow in line with this strategy, releasing their own form of short videos as an attempt to keep up. TikTok does hold an advantage in their features. Their library of special effects, AR tools, and music catalog gives users the ability to be more creative and entertaining. The new time extension will give TikTok creators a little more runway to record longer videos that get into a little more detail for their viewers. Our take on this, look out YouTube, you have a big target on your back. TikTok's eyeballing that $28.8 billion ad revenue you pulled in during 2021. In our next story, Joe Spicer founded a female-focused entertainment startup called Little Things back in 2014. At their peak, they were pushing over $75 million in revenue with 4 hours of daily original content, all driven by a team of over 110 employees. They were masters of the Facebook newsfeed, growing their social audience to over 20 million followers and 900 million views per month. Facebook recognized their success and hosted them at their headquarters, and even profiled them at their FA conference on how to build a media company. Then, in 2018, Facebook changed their algorithm. Facebook stopped showing the feel-good content they normally promoted on their channel in favor of more serious stories. 90% of their organic traffic from Facebook dried up. All of this took place right before Little Things was about to be acquired for over $100 million by another company. After trying to diversify, they ended up having to lay off most of their employees and lost the lease on their New York City and live video studios. They later sold the company for a fraction of the initial offer. He says it's a reminder to choose your platforms wisely and always remember, if they can give it, they can take it away. Our take on this, Spicer says the alternative options like Snapchat and TikTok weren't really available to him at the time. This is another important reminder to own your marketing and not place all control of your marketing into a single platform. In additional marketing news, building a website or thinking about a redesign? Sure, you've looked at a gajillion websites on the internet, but what goes into building one? Understanding the anatomy of a great business website is a great start. WordPress put together this helpful infographic outlining all the elements to help you create a great business website. Be sure to check it out. Instagram is changing up their platform in 2022. Big shocker. Social Media Examiner details 4 primary changes Instagram is making to their platform in 2022 with tips to help you adjust. These changes include controls over the display of the feed, allowing users to customize their preferences. An increased focus on video content versus the traditional photography-based format Instagram was founded on. Longer form video allowing creators to provide more detail in their Q&As, how-tos, product demos, and case studies. And finally, stricter consequences for unethical marketing practices. Like many other companies, Domino's is facing a labor shortage. Is $3 off enough to entice people to pick up their own pizza? Combined with not having a delivery fee, Domino's is hoping to motivate customers to pick up their pizzas rather than having them delivered to keep staff in stores and making more pizzas. In our final story, the United Kingdom has started exploring the idea of implementing an online sales tax. This move is likely fueled by the pandemic transitioning so many in-store purchases to online purchases. Details about how the tax will be calculated have yet to surface. While no one likes paying taxes, it was only a matter of time. Yet, another thing we can thank the pandemic for. That's all the marketing news we have for you this week. Don't forget to subscribe to receive all this marketing goodness straight to your inbox and access the full version of these stories and more at fishbowlfriday.com.